Welcome back, fellow internet adventurers. Get ready for another wild ride through Reddit's strangest stories. We're diving deep into the internet's quirkiest corners. Grab your popcorn and join us on this adventure. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Let's get started. My wife, 29 of 7 years, cheated on me with one of her longtime friends. In mid-July, I discovered text messages exchanged between them after getting suspicious and finally checking her phone. The texts I read were from a day after D-Day, discussing how good their sex was, expressing "I love you," and even recounting a mild fight we had where she recounted things I said, and they both laughed about it. I tried to explain that we may be entering a new stage of marriage where we are comfortable and complacent. It might feel a little boring, but maybe that's just how things get once you're married for more than a few years. However, she's convinced that is wrong and that we've drifted apart despite spending our days together, filled with good conversation, good sex, etc. She doesn't know that I know. I've talked to a lawyer and have divorce papers in the works. Note that this is the second time she has done this. The first time she cheated was when we were dating. We had a 6-month split, worked things out, got back together, and later married. On the rare occasions we talk about her past infidelity, I've told her that if she ever does it again, we're done. We've been fine for 6 years with no problems. About a year ago, she began getting a little colder and wouldn't accept my affection, things like not hugging me back at all. I guess this distance culminated in her affair. Fast forward to today. I've known for 3 weeks and have been waiting for paperwork before confronting her. At first, she was clearly not interested in me, but this week she seems to be feeling more guilty about her actions and a little more interested in me. She has been trying to make up for her actions in her own way, all without us ever talking about it, like washing dishes, cleaning, and cooking, all while refusing any help. It's as if she is punishing herself. In my mind, she has completely betrayed me, and I can no longer trust her. She has caused me such pain and cannot possibly love me if she is able to do all that. Financially, we've been okay but have struggled a bit because she doesn't want to work. She has finally been working for a year, but it's a minimum wage part-time job that barely covers her bills. I feel like I have to pull all the weight, and she is not really my equal. At the same time, I still care about her, value the life we built, and worry about what will happen to her. I think she could easily fall into a deep depression. There's really only one way forward, and that is divorce. However, I am worried about how she will take it, and it will be hard to resist taking her back. I almost wish she would happily leave with her new partner. I know I have to divorce her, but I'm not looking forward to the heartbreak, loneliness, and whatever else I can't even predict. How do I do this? First update. 3 days until I go scorched earth. I originally thought she began cheating in July, but nope. Not only did her affair begin in May, but from March to May, she had another affair, this one involving unprotected sex with a heroin addict. So, the grand total of cheating is 4 guys. Now on to the current affair partner. First, she established his support by lying to him about our relationship. She told him I insult her and that I'm mean, which is not true at all. This gave him justification. So he began manipulating her, telling her she deserves better, that I'm a piece of crap, that I'm a child, all kinds of stuff. He actually fancied himself a relationship coach. He would listen to her complaints about me and tell her how I would respond or the reasons I did that. Let me get this straight. The person she is cheating with is telling her how to handle relationships? What the F***? The things she was mad about, I had no idea they bothered her. She never told me. Remember, he has never met me, yet he thinks he can predict all my behavior. This guy prides himself on his control over others. He bragged about it. He thinks he's some relationship guru. It's ridiculous. He is a church minister and bragged about how he helps a teen group get closer to God. In one instance, he bragged about how he helped a teenager break up with his girlfriend and then did a good job consoling the girlfriend. Because she was then suicidal, she has fallen for this good guy act, a total manipulation, hook, line, and sinker. He refers to her living with me as prison and calls me the ass, while I am the one who hugs her, pays her bills, and happily greets her when she gets home from work. I value her above all others. I do have to come clean. I value self-improvement very much and believe people should always be striving to improve, but she has not improved at all over the last 10 years. She is overweight, dropped out of college, and is working a minimum wage part-time job. Years ago, I tried to get her to improve. I asked her to go to the gym with me, to do a sport, or anything, but she refused. She was unemployed for 4 years while I paid her student loans and helped with alarmingly high credit card debt. I asked her to find a job every week, but she never did. I even offered to pay for school, allowing her to study anything she wanted, but she never went. After a few years of requesting her to work on herself, I slowly became frustrated to the point where I began criticizing her for her lack of effort. Sometimes I was so frustrated that I was mean about it. This was very wrong of me, and I stopped all my criticizing a few years ago, before her affairs began. She truly loved me even when I was still meanly criticizing her. Yet now that I'm not, she doesn't love me. My criticizing didn't come from a place of hate. I believe that marriage is a partnership that should be equal, and that she should be my equal. I wanted to help her gain equality in our relationship, but she didn't want it. I think we were supposed to lean on each other for support. Yet she leaned on me only. Now that I'm in school and need some support, she has completely fallen apart, which has manifested in affairs and resentment, all without addressing her issues with me. She has a problem with me that she brings to the affair partner. He tells her what I would probably say. She told her mom about the affair and tried to paint me as the bad guy, but her mom didn't believe her. My wife got angry that her mom wasn't on her side and complained about it to the affair partner, who quickly took her side and rationalized her mom's stance. My wife is looking for someone to agree with her, to justify the awful things she has done to me. She feels shame and hides it by convincing herself that I am a terrible person. She has very little emotional intelligence and barely pays attention to me. She can't read me at all. Yet she is an open book to me. Her mental image of me is not at all who I really am. She is stuck on the person I used to be. I've changed a lot over the last few years, but she never noticed. She won't leave me because she knows she has a good setup with me. She told the affair partner that if she leaves me, she has nothing. I am a busy student, so I don't have tons of time to give her attention like I used to. I think this is what triggered the cheating. If anything else challenges her as a priority for me, she becomes wildly unstable. So here we are today. I've read all of her messages, and she still has no idea I'm aware of her despicable ways. I have divorce papers coming Wednesday, and I'm counting down the minutes until I can blow up her world. I was initially going to try to do things nicely, but now, after reading it all, I want to go scorched earth. I want her to truly understand the depth of her horrible behavior. I can't wait to read her text with the affair partner back to her and show her just how screwed up it is. I can't wait to point out all the obvious manipulations the affair partner has done with her. I'm looking for support for my situation and possible solutions to a dilemma. We have a dog that she is obsessed with like a child, and she will fight tooth and nail for it. But neither of us has the money to fight over it in court. How can I keep my dog without incurring $30,000 in court and lawyer fees? Yes, she is crazy enough to do that over the dog. I'm thinking I can somehow serve her papers and leave with my belongings and the dog on the same day, before she gets the papers. The problem is that I live at school, which I need to return to in September. There's a lot more to this, but the texting with the affair partner is literally 100 pages long, so this is very condensed. Now on to update 2. In the home stretch, I guess. I got ahead of myself with that 3-day countdown. The papers took a lot longer than I was told. Well, now I have them, and all the pieces are starting to fall into place. I am planning to have her served a week from today, but as we all know, things may not play out exactly as planned. My soon-to-be ex-wife still has no idea that I discovered her cheating over a month ago and that I have been planning for our separation. I have been living with her and acting like nothing is wrong this whole time, and she is completely oblivious. It has actually been difficult not to catch her. I've seen her texting him and would have caught her 15 times over at this point. She never even changed her password, and she still talks about him like he is just a friend. It can be hard to keep my cool while she is talking about him, but I do what I have to do. Sometimes I feel like secretly plotting against her to pull the rug out from under her is wrong. Not wrong to do to her, but immoral for me to do something like this, regardless of who is on the receiving end. Some days, it is difficult to hide that I am angry with her about what she did. Some days, it feels like some weird dream I am living in. We had a big fight about our relationship. during which I was able to call her out on lots of her poor choices without revealing that I know about everything. I told her she didn't love me and that I haven't been important to her for a long time. That was a week ago, and I have been using that big fight as a cover. So now, if I'm angry or cold, she thinks it is because of that big fight we had. I was the only thing holding our relationship together, and now that I know about her infidelity, I have no reason to put in any effort. As a result, our relationship has drastically fallen apart. I explained all this to her, and it seems she realized it was true. Since the fight, she seems to have chosen me over the affair partner. This is obviously not how it should be. She chose me when we got married, so there shouldn't even have been a choice to be made here. She has been putting more effort into showing me attention and communicating that she wants to make things work, but from my perspective, it is way too little, way too late. There is nothing she can do to change the situation she put us in. She made her bed, and now she has to lie in it. This infidelity began because her position as the absolute center of my life was challenged. Her large amount of attention from me, from which she derives happiness, was challenged, so she sought attention elsewhere rather than communicating with me. What I find truly hilarious is that the men she has chosen to have affairs with don't treat her as number one either. One guy regularly ignored her for weeks, and the other guy has an ex-wife and child that he even told her would always be his priority. He's even been seen around town with other girls. Remember that this guy is a youth pastor, so she is not even number two to him, even though they tell each other how special their relationship is. He even told her he plans on moving to co-parent his kid with his ex, but none of that matters to her. How is she okay with that, but can't handle me focusing on school? Here's the update as of today. In response to our big fight, she decided she will be staying with her parents for a few weeks to clear her head. This makes things way easier for me. I don't have to worry about her refusing to leave or attacking me or any other crazy thing she may do. She already has plans to come back. Little does she know, I have arranged for her to be served divorce papers the day after she gets to her parents. So I have a week to go, and it can't be over soon enough. As much as I want it to be over, it also means this is the last week I will ever see my dog. It really sucks. We are super attached, but I have no hope of keeping him. There are some special circumstances that I don't want to explain, but it's basically impossible for me to keep him. I'm going to miss him a lot. Time for another update. I blindsided her with the papers. It has been a long month. I wanted to call her out so badly. It was on the tip of my tongue, but I never did because it would make things difficult for me. So I hit the gym, lawyered up, got the papers drafted, collected over 450 pages of explicit messaging, set up a new debit account ready to transfer funds, and convinced her to take some time at her parents' house. Everything, and I mean everything, went to plan. I even predicted the exact reaction her and her family would have. I froze her credit card with my name and transferred half of our money to the new debit account as soon as I heard the papers were delivered. She left yesterday with her mom. I just gave her a hug and said, "Take care of yourself." She said, "Okay." This morning, a process server arrived at her parents' home and delivered the papers. She had no idea I knew what she was doing. Her parents claimed they had no idea about anything. She got completely blindsided and was apparently hysterical. I say hysterical because, get this, I still haven't talked to her. Yep, her mom called me, and I had to explain the situation to her. Just higher-level details, though. Even in a situation like this, her mom is trying to solve the problems for her. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even discuss my personal relationship with my wife privately. This is a 29-year-old woman who is letting her mom mediate and talk on her behalf. Although I did have a good relationship with my mother-in-law, and she did push my wife to work on our marriage, I find this so idiotic for them both. I handled everything with tact, kept my composure, and didn't let my emotions do the talking. I had to really bite my lip, though. My mother-in-law, in discussing getting my wife's things, was using language that implied I was responsible for getting her stuff back to her. She suggested I pack the stuff, rent a car, and drive the 4 hours to deliver it. The stuff in question is mostly t-shirts and lotion bottles, so I told her it is not my responsibility. She came back with, "If you respect me so much, like you say, you would do me the favor." Oh man, not only is she getting way too far into our business, but she is also going to try to manipulate me. I just said, that has nothing to do with this, and I could say the same thing to you. Please don't attempt to manipulate me again. I'm already giving you a lot of respect here by keeping many issues off the table. I can decide to bring this to court and prove infidelity, costing us both a lot of money. I can claim theft of our dog. I can provide evidence of her affair partner's employer, which will get him fired from his youth pastor position and others. I'm trying to make this as affordable and simple as possible. She backed down and will be picking up the stuff now. I have to wait for them to make a move. I'm guessing they're trying to hire a lawyer and refute the dog ownership, which is the biggest point of contention, yet oddly has not been brought up. Her mom is probably comforting her and telling her that her multiple illicit affairs are okay, that dragging her husband through the mud and talking crap about him whenever she gets the chance, even while still coming home at night and expecting love and affection, is all okay. Someone in another thread mentioned she might have borderline personality disorder based on some things she said. I think she does. Is it odd that they are so worried about such insignificant belongings right now? Yes. Is it odd that my wife is not handling this with me? Yes. Should I refuse to deal with her mom? Maybe. Is my wife mentally unstable? I guess so. Do I let them come and get her stuff? I don't really want to deal with that. I hate all of this. I'm being straightforward and honest with them, and they're trying to pull some crap on me. I hate that I might have to resort to twisting their arm. I hate that I have always been a meal ticket for my wife, and just the sucker paying her bills to her parents. I hate that I can't even discuss this with her civilly and rationally like an adult. I hate that her mom lied to me about not knowing her daughter had affairs. I hate that they are so confused by my actions. I hate that I instinctively think of her and want to ask her what kind she wants when I see ice cream at the store. But most of all, I hate how even now I am the bad guy to them. Now for the final update. 2 years after the divorce, I noticed a few messages asking how everything eventually turned out with my situation. In a nutshell, it was good. It was a clean break. Absolutely zero communication. No issues whatsoever. She moved on. I moved on. That's it. It was essentially a very expensive breakup. The single thing that sucks is I had to give up my dog, but it looks like he is still living happily with her after the divorce. I graduated, got a job, and moved. She moved to her parents' guest bedroom and never moved out. She got a low-wage job and hasn't done anything since. She is dating someone. That's all I know because she has blocked me, even though I never said a thing. I dated a couple of girls and found one who was extremely special and showed me love I didn't know existed. Then I proceeded to lose her, so now I'm single. I'm doing extremely well with my dating life. Literally every single woman I met has been leagues better than my ex-wife, but I would like to be back with my recent girlfriend. Such is life. I got a great job, and I'm doing very well financially, while she is in her 30s, living with her retired parents. So, I guess I came out on top and relatively unscathed. Anyways, goodbye for now, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.